Thank you for stopping by Ballistic BBQ. On today's video, I'm going to be making the lockdown cheeseburger using hamburger that is, get this, 3 years old. Let's get going. So we are living in bizarre times right now with, all the quarantines going on and the social distancing and everything. I'm not really a big fan of this, but we have to fight through this. Because of what's going on right now, I thought this video, the subject matter of this video would be perfect. I live in California. We have a lot of earthquakes out here, and because of that, and again, I grew up out here, I've always made a point of having a lot of emergency food on hand. Keep the freezers well stocked, have my pantry well stocked, and then the last kind of resort is like freeze-dried foods and then like MREs and things like that. A couple of years ago, I actually purchased a freeze dryer, and it's been actually pretty cool, pretty fun. I freeze dry a lot of my leftovers, make camping food, backpacking food, and emergency foods. Pardon my voice right now. I was really sick for like 2 weeks. It wasn't anything horrible. It was, well, a really bad sinus infection, but I had zero voice and no energy at all. So I'm glad to be back. No fever or anything, but again, just knocked me on my ass, I'll tell you that. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of panic going on right now. I mean, the stores are still getting all the deliveries, at least our stores are, but people, they're feeling panicked, they're scared, and they're buying up everything off the shelves. So I feel grateful that, I don't have to worry about that, at least right now. Hopefully it won't get any worse than it is. But what I'm going to be doing is rehydrating some hamburger meat, some ground beef patties that are raw, and they're almost 3 years old. I'm also going to be topping it with brisket that I freeze-dried and some hatch green chilies. So let's get going. Another thing, after I'm done, getting these things in the water, showing you how to rehydrate, I'm going to kind of reveal a little experiment that I've been conducting, and I kind of think it's going to be a failure, but I think it'll be fun to kind of share it with you guys because it's nothing I really had planned before of doing a video on. So anyway, I have here two 80-20 ground beef patties. These, I think they're older than they say. I mean, I dated it May 1st of 2017. That's actually when I changed the packaging because I realized my chamber vac actually vacuum seals these heavy Mylar bags. So I took them out of the Mylar bag here that just has oxygen absorbers in it, and I put them in this with oxygen absorbers, and I also vacuum sealed them. I just thought it would be even better way of preserving this stuff. Most of the foods that I freeze dry, it's already cooked, so really the only thing you need to do as far as preparing it is add hot water. Not boiling water, just hot water, eating temperature. If it's cooked food, you can actually eat it without rehydrating it, if it's a really bad situation. But like, again, bananas and stuff, they taste really good, just like chips. So in order to rehydrate these, what I'm gonna do is put them in water. So here's what that patty looks like. Has the texture of like, kind of like a rice patty. I get, one of those rice, what do you call them, rice cakes or styrofoam. We're going to go for a double patty here. And what I'm going to do is just add, this is cool water. So I have here beef brisket. This was from a brisket cook I did, actually a video. And I can tell you right now that this particular package is just more or less board scraps. The really nice slices of brisket that I had, I gave to a buddy who was going on a hunting trip. So I mentioned oxygen absorbers, and that's basically this little packet here. And again, normally what I would do is just put the food in here, put a few of these in there, and then heat seal it, and that completely absorbs all the oxygen in this environment. The whole point is, you want to create an environment that will not encourage the growth of bacteria. And again, these are scraps, but you can see what that looks like. You can actually see that smoke ring there. Kind of cool. So I'm just rehydrating the brisket with cool water as well, just simply because I'm actually going to be kind of giving it a quick sear on the griddle here. This smells really good. And again, you can just eat it like a cracker. It's good. like I said, total board scraps. Hatch green chili. Again, these about a year old now. And I actually did a burger video, a freeze-dried burger video that I'll have posted up here. And here's those Hatch green chilies. These are chopped green chilies from a can. And the chilies have kind of the texture of like an old bathtub rug, like a bathroom rug here. You don't need a whole ton of water on something like this. I'm just going to add a little water from the bottle here. The nice thing is you really can't overhydrate this stuff. It'll only take in as much water as it expelled during the freeze drying process. Now you can see obviously this hamburger is on the surface now, so I'm going to kind of have to just gently rotate these things until it's fully hydrated. Okay, now it's time for my cool experiment reveal, which again, I'm actually already labeling it a kind of a fail, but I will get something out of this experiment. So let me get this stuff out of the way. And here is the hamburger bun. So here was my thought process. I remember when I was a lot younger going to one of these, the military surplus stores, and they had some field rations in there that were like, it was like a squad ration, so it was a big container. And one of the things that was in there were these pouches, like PVC pouches, I think, lined with like a Mylar on the inside with bread, white bread in it. And it always kind of amazed me how they could preserve bread, like soft bread, for so long. So once I got my chamber vacuum and I started doing this, again, this food preservation, I started thinking about how you could preserve bread. So I was thinking, because I had a leftover hamburger bun, I'll put it in a container to kind of protect the integrity of the bun as far as not squishing it. And then I'll just put a whole crap load of oxygen absorbers in there, and I'll vacuum seal it. So it'll be like it's in outer space, basically. But as you guys can see, the vacuum sealer, that chamber vac, is just really powerful. So I'm ending up with a hamburger bun that's probably about as thin as a pancake. My big question is this going to be like this green blob of penicillin, or is it still going to be white bread? So we are going to learn together. This was preserved. I'm shooting this video on the 4th of April. I think it's the 4th of April. Yeah, 4th or 5th of April. I don't even know what date it is, of 2017. It's 2020 right now. So let's get this opened up here. This is going to be crazy. Well, it's still white, but you can see I went berserk with those oxygen absorbers, and see, I mean, it literally squished this container. I mean, very thin. Okay. I don't know if my microphone's picked up that when I was opening up this container. It doesn't smell bad. This is crazy. This is I don't know, can you see it? This is a top and a bottom bun. It is literally, it's like an 1/8 of an inch thick. Here I go, man. This is like, there's sesame seeds on here. I didn't even remember it was a sesame seed bun. It smells good. It smells like bread. And there's not a hint of green on it or anything. It tastes like stale bread. I told myself I wasn't going to eat this, but yeah, I can't even separate it. I mean, what a stupid thing for me to do. I shouldn't have stuck it in this container. I probably shouldn't have vacuum sealed it. I'm going to try this again. Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of doughy. no flavor. Tastes fine, actually. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to vacuum, or not vacuum seal, heat seal a hamburger bun in a Mylar bag with a ton of those oxygen absorbers and see what happens. Okay, here's where we're at now. I'm going to give all this meat basically 15 minutes, 20 minutes to rehydrate, and then we'll fire up the griddle and we'll start cooking. See you guys in a bit. So it's been about 20 minutes now and the meat's all rehydrated, but I actually have a big takeaway for me personally, and that is as far as this freeze-dried food is concerned, it's definitely better not to vacuum seal the freeze-dried food, because I think what it does is it compresses those meat fibers just a little too much. And when they're just in the bag with the O2 absorbers, you know, it's still, there's room in there. It's not compressing anything, you know, it's just basically like a sealed bag. But here we go. So here's the meat, and I took it out of the water. This patty here it actually broke. You know, this was my stupid mistake having two patties in that bowl, you know, and trying to rotate them and everything. But you can see, you know, it is hydrated, but it's a little bit of a spongy texture. And the patties that I've rehydrated that were not vacuum sealed, it had more of a natural kind of a texture. Here are those hatch chilies, and you can see they just look like good old hatch chilies now. And here's the brisket. Brisket came out pretty good. I mean, it looks like brisket. And I know earlier in the video, you know, I was manipulating things with my fingers. Remember, this is for me. I'm making one double patty burger, and it's for me. So let's cook these burgers up. I'm using the Blackstone griddle, and right now I have 3 of the burners running at like medium high. And I have some kind of I did a crappy job just a very rushed job of clarifying a little bit of butter. It's more like regular butter, let's just put it that way. For this broken patty, bummed about this, but I'll glue it together with some cheese. Second patty, a little bit of coarsely ground salt. Smells like a hamburger cooking. Get some of that briskets. I'm going to kind of roast up some of these hatch chilies here. Chili smell really good. Those buns down, these are not those old buns, darn it. See, the brisket came out. I mean, it's really rehydrated nicely. Wow, smells good. I mean, this right now it just smells like, you know, that brisket smell, that smoky brisket smell. Dig on it. I mean, this looks just very natural. All right, and I already know this patty's going to be ugly on the flip. We'll see what I can do here. Not bad. Like I said, we're going to glue this broken patty, little good old American cheese. This off to the side. The burner is not on over here, so I'm just going to keep it warm. I'm going to try a piece of this brisket. Just look at that. Let me try to get it close to the camera. You would never know that this had been rehydrated. I'm honestly wishing I would have changed course here and made like a killer like barbecue brisket sandwich instead of a burger. I mean, but this is gonna be good. All right, let's assemble this. That brisket down there. This brisket is insanely good. Some of these hatch chilies, bring on the heat. So for the sauce, I'm using K-Pop's kimchi mayo. These guys are great guys, they're buddies of mine, good stuff. This is gonna bring on some of that little kimchi funk, kind of that umami. Whoa, it's coming out on its own. And definitely a little bit of heat, but a nice warm kind of a heat. This stuff goes really good on burgers and dogs. And there we are, hamburger, 3-year-old meat. Good stuff. Let's give it a try. Look at that. So it smells good. Right off the bat, I'm getting that smoked brisket smell, and then a little hamburger smell. So I'll say right off the bat, the king of this burger is that brisket. Right now I'm getting a little heat from the chilies, that's good. Again, the burgers, I think being vacuum sealed was a mistake, but lessons learned. It's one of the reasons why, you know, I like to fill around like this. The brisket was unbelievable. I mean, I could have that for a regular non-emergency dinner. Backpacking, that would be a luxury right there. The brisket was awesome. Like I said, I think it's cool I did a burger. The mistake I made was vacuum sealing those freeze-dried patties. I think it compressed everything way too much. It tastes good, but it's definitely a little bit of a firmer texture than like the video I made when I actually first freeze-dried these burgers. But it's good. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to be back. This will be gone before long. I was just kind of messing around. Remember, cool heads and common sense prevail. So guys, be healthy, be safe, and don't panic. We're all learning from this experience, and that's a good thing. And I think it'll make us better people. Cheers.